Good evening, and welcome to the BBC News 10 o'clock with me, William Welly. Our main story tonight, the Battle of Gallipoli, is in full swing. The British troops have now landed at Cape Helles in the southern tip of Gallipoli in Turkey. However, there have been reports of the invasion not quite going to plan. We have our special correspondent who is out in the field, Trevor Nelson, who is live at the Battle of Gallipoli. Trevor.
Thank you, Mr. Wellington. It is gory out here. There's a thick sense of panic in the air. You're lucky you're in that office. I am actually getting intel that the soldiers landed at the wrong beach. There's obviously been a miscommunication from the generals there, maybe not enough planning time. I don't know what's happening. There's soldiers dropping like flies around me. I'll be lucky if I can get an interview with one of the soldiers. I think one's coming now, actually.
Thank you for that report, Trevor. So you said before that the soldiers have landed at the wrong beach because of a miscommunication. Is that true?
Yeah, they have landed at the wrong beach, and not just that. The other side have been waiting there at that beach, and they're under heavy fire. It's a very, very bad situation.
Yeah, because I've just actually received information that because of the fact that they've landed in the wrong beach, they have actually had to climb up some quite tricky cliffs and gullies. How is that faring for the soldiers?
Oh well, it doesn't help that the conditions are awful. It's actually snowing and raining. It must be at least -3 degrees here, especially with the wind. It's awful. They must be freezing.
Yeah, and because I spoke to the one of the generals involved in the planning of Gallipoli a few weeks ago on the show, and they said that they were underestimating, well, not underestimating, but they said that they weren't expecting the Ottomans to be a very strong power. Is that true, or have they really come back and tried to fight this battle?
Well, I think it's a mix between a lapse of judgment. It's definitely a lapse in concentration. They've not planned at all, but I think it's also a bit arrogant, to be honest. They've completely underestimated the Ottoman army, and they've come back with a real fight.
Okay, thank you for that. You said you had another soldier to interview. Have you managed to secure that interview?
Yeah, he's just coming now. Be sure to interview him for you to get some extra information.
Okay, thank you very much, Trevor.
Excuse me, sir. I understand this is a bit of a heavy request, but how do you think the battle's going so far? What's your view on what's happened so far?
Well, it's not going very well because the Ottomans are shooting from above the high ground. They got the high ground.
Okay. I hear there's been a miscommunication among the generals. What's your view on the generals' plan?
I really think they've underestimated the power of those mighty Ottomans up there.
Okay, thanks for that. Just in case, not trying to wish anything upon anyone, but just in case you die, have you got a message for your family at home?
Well, Mum, could you make me a steak pie when I get home? And if I die, don't be sad because I'm doing what I love to do, you know.
Okay, thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here first. You've got the inside scoop, the inside information. We are the best news channel for that. We're going to go over to William Wellington, who's got more inside scoop and a review of what's happened tonight. William, take it away.
And thank you, Trevor, for that interesting report there from right at the scene of the Battle of Gallipoli. Now, let's just summarise the main headlines for today. So, the troops have landed at the beaches in Gallipoli. However, they have, because of a miscommunication from the generals, landed in the wrong place. The conditions are terrible. They're having to try and traverse this really steep, rocky gully to try and get to the forces of the Ottoman. However, the Ottomans are just pelting down the bullets and they're just mowing all the soldiers down. So it is a bit of a disaster. The Anzac forces are yet to arrive. However, we've just yet had intel that they are arriving imminently. So that's about it from us at the moment. However, I'm about to pass over to John, who's got the full in-depth battle report about where the troops are moving at the scene of Gallipoli. Over to you, John.
Thank you for the introduction there, William. And I'm telling you, this battle is not looking good. Allied forces have now come with their boats to land on the Gallipoli Peninsula. We can see that this is heavily guarded by sea mines, forts and Ottoman troops. So the Allied forces are now on the beaches and Ottoman troops are meeting them. On the southern beaches, French troops who are helping out the British are also fighting. And we can see now northern beaches are now fighting and Anzac troops are being surrounded with even more Ottoman troops coming for reinforcements. However, we can see now the most northern beach has landed with British troops and they are suddenly pushing really well, but they are forced to retreat. This is not going well. It certainly does not look good, and I'm afraid the tactics are just all wrong. Back to you in the studio.
And thank you very much, John, for that insightful report on the ins and outs of the Battle of Gallipoli. So overall, it hasn't been a huge success. The troops have landed on the wrong beaches because of a huge miscommunication from the generals. The generals have completely underestimated the force of the Ottomans, so the British soldiers are just trapped in the rocky ravines at Gallipoli. We have, in fact, actually just received intelligence that the politicians have influenced the decisions of the generals. So the loss of this battle may not just be down to the generals, but the politicians who told them that they must attack Gallipoli, whatever the cost, to try and win the war. I'm afraid that is all we've got time for tonight on this Gallipoli BBC News special. So that is good night from us here in the London studio and from Gallipoli. Good night.
Scoop, 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 scoop.